Hey everyone, TimaeuSS here. Welcome to another Artery Gear video. So, this is my in-depth guide on Lila for the global server. It's going to be a bit more detailed than my JP one that I did, showcasing my JP Lila. In this video, I'm going to go over my global Lila stats, my gearing sets, and other gearing set options, plus the substat priorities, the different builds, and also take a look at the PvP teams, common yet effective stall-breaking teams with Lila, the return of cleaving teams with Lila, and also PvE synergy with other units to tackle some of the hunts or other PvE content. And at the end of the video, I also have a giveaway for people. Essentially, 20 lucky winners will have the unique equipment pack to push their Lila to UE20, which gives a decent amount of boost. So you can skip to the end, near the end of the video if you only care about that. But for those of you that want to learn more about Lila, here we go. So Lila as a unit is finally out in global. As the second limited collab unit, Lila is, in my opinion, one of the strongest ones. She is fantastic. Her kit is very synergistic even with herself. So those are my stats. Let's take a quick look. Attack about 5.6k. You can push her attack to nearly 6k if you forego some speed by using a attack set boot, or sorry, not attack set boot, attack flat or attack percentage main stat boot instead of speed. The reason why I built mine this way, I'm gonna kind of explain my thought process, because I wanted a minimum of 5.5k attack with 320 crit damage, right? It's very effective for Lila because her S3 has huge damage, so you want her to one-shot things. If you're in the lower level of PvP, or if you care more about PvE, you don't need those stats that high. With unique equipment, 5.2k with 300 crit damage is good enough, okay? I had her defense a bit higher than normal because I wanted to keep the HP low to take advantage of the react set that I have on her for the push. So I opted to go for higher defense rather than high HP. And then also speed, I wanted to be above 160 for PvE cycling. Again, my Lila, the build is going to work for PvP and PvE. It's not specialized, but it's going to serve both purposes. And the crit damage does cap at 350, so just keep that in mind. And in addition, Lila is okay at 50% crit. The reason being, her S2 gives a 50% critical chance buff for 3 turns. So if you do that, she'll be reaching 100% crit with just 50%. That's why you have the choice to opt and go for different stats. You can have more attack, you can have bulk, either in the form of HP or defense, or speed in this case. So I'm going to show you my substats for each each piece of gear. Basically, I try to aim to have a golden crit damage or golden attack percentage on every single piece, and the other two, it's just either some defensive or some speed. And because Lila has a two tech nodes with crit, she has a base of 24%. Plus a imprint of crit. Even if Lila at 0%, at 0%, zero imprint, she still has 24%, which means if you run a 2-piece crit, you're at 36 and you only need 2 pieces of substat gear. So for me, I only have a 6.9 here and a 6.2 here. So it's very easy to reach that cutoff mark for Lila. And speaking of the 2-piece crit, I think for most players, what they'll run is a 4-piece crit damage, which you can get from Octo 7 and 8. There's no need to farm Octo 9, okay? And then a 2-piece, if you are a higher level that is trying to, that has imprint and try to get the most of your Lila, I really suggest React. So in that case, you can venture into Octo 9 and get the 2-piece React. But for most players, and on JP, what I did was farm Harpist 9. Because Harpist 9 gives you the 5th and the 6th slot for the crit set. This is basically a free R4 imprint if you run the crit 2-piece, and you run the 4-piece crit damage and 2-piece crit. I've also seen other people run other stuff, and you can even put the free attack set on Lila. So you can see this is the free attack set with the casting and also 1-piece difference, but you'll be able to get at least 5.5k attack and nearly 6,300 crit damage, right? The only trade-off is you lose a lot of bulk. You lose bulk here for maximum crit, and you also lose speed. So This is the Lila stats. I've also seen speed set if you run a super fast Lila to cycle and try to get S2 to be more of a utility role. I personally don't like it very much, so this is what I would go for. And in the meantime, while you're waiting to farm the gears, you can use the free set here, which is in the rookie mission. So that's the stats and the builds and substat priorities. We can take a look at her unique equipment. So in my giveaway, after you complete it as a free-to-play player and do 40 pulls, if you don't want to go to 110 pulls to secure level 20, you can buy a $5 pack, and the giveaway will give you that $5 pack, and increases her S2. Instead of 1 energy gained, you double that, so it's 2 energy gained from the S2. So this has essentially 30% damage. So I think it's quite a decent boost, and hopefully you guys will win the giveaway. And I'll tell you how to win the giveaway at the end of the video, so you know how to enter. But let's take a look at some of the PvP teams, and I'm really hoping the emulator does not crash. Oh, but before we skip to the PvP teams, huge shout out to my sponsor of this video. So let's take a look. Thank you, NordVPN, for sponsoring this video. It allows me to really host giveaways like this to help my community and also give back to the community. But if you use my affiliate link, nordvpn.com/TimaeuSS, you'll be able to get 67% off of the 2-year plan, and you also have the 30-day money-back guarantee. So what you can do is go for the 2-year plan using my link and then cancel it right away, and then you still get a 30-day trial. Again, it really helps support the channel, allows me to do more giveaways and give back. So let's go back to Lila. So a few things I want to show you. As we know, in terms of the ranking at the moment, a lot of people they're running stalls in the higher tier, and in the lower tiers it's more about cleaves, right? So I'll show you a stall breaking team that will break a lot of the higher ranking stall teams, and then I'll show you a cleave team that Nina can do. So let's take a look at this team. So this team is very common. You have 2 cores, and then after that, oh, not this one. This one is 3 cores. Let's find a 2-core team that's very common. Yeah, so this is a very common setup where you have 2 cores, so 2 units that can do a great chunk of damage, and then 2 healers. In the showcase I'm going to do, this is one of my favorite teams to go into. Basically, Timmy secures you to go first, Lila secures the kill on Rosalie, and then Alice, Nina secures the kill on Della. And of course, you have the flexibility for Alice to either push Nina or Ryza, depending on where you are in terms of the action bar in relative to the other team. So I'll break it down to you so you understand the thought process between the behind the decision making. And Nina is on the free attack set gear from Rookie Mission. So of course we'll go first, so we'll push, and let's take a look at where everyone is. So on the action bar, my Nina is already at 87%, so I can probably... Okay, so I want to kill the Ryza for sure, right? So I'm gonna use... let's see if it's a tanky Ryza. So it's not a tanky Ryza, so that's completely fine. What I'll do then is use Nina to deal with their Della first. So I would use the first one to do this, and then Nina gets to go next because of the push. So I'll use S2 to go, and S3 to 1-tap the Ryza. So if you're not confident if your Lila can one-shot the Ryza or not, depending on the HP, because it might be a super tank, you could have used Alice to push Lila, and then Lila will have the attack buff to kill. So this way, you lose the turn right now, as you can see, on Nina, but it secures a huge damage kill on the Ryza, which then your Nina can use S3 after using S2 to finish off the position 1. So you only have to deal with the single threat, which is Della. So now with 2 healers left, it's fairly straightforward. You just work through them one by one. And usually I opt to go for Morris first, because Morris's turn cycling is very strong. So you can see she can just infinitely S2, S3. So I need to deal with Morris first, and let me check. Not yet. So we can just use an auto attack here. And because we want to blow up Morris, we'll give Lila the turn to one-shot. And the reason why I went for Huron here is I want to avoid over damage, because I know my Lila can pretty much one-shot. Oh, but she will lose the attack buff, so I will still chip Morris. And in this case, I know that my Nina is falling right after, so I'm just gonna burst Morris down. So some alternatives to this is you can run the Morris instead of Timmy. And over instead of Nina, you can also run Shura. Right, so that is a very potent stall breaking comp. Basically, with the combination of Nina plus Lila, you'll take out 2 units. Okay, next we can take a look at a Cleave team that's going to be, I think, very, very popular. The only downside is that I don't think I have anyone on my list that is easily cleavable. Potentially this one. So let's try that. So it will be Ruri here. Let me double check. So yeah, this might not do it because I know this guy has very strong defense, but I just want to show you in the lower levels, this is what it will look like. Basically, Lila gets pushed so fast due to the Cleave, and I'll just show you what the process behind it looks like. But against Cleaves, I think Stallbreaker is better. It's just that I know this team is very, very well built. So let's take a look and see if this Cleave can crack it. So again, same thing. It's very similar to our old Cleave teams where, you know, you go into Timmy push and then you determine who you want to push. So let's see. Might not crit. So what I'll do is push the Ruri here. And then Ruri gets to open. And then Lila gets to push. So usually if your Ruri, and again my Ruri is on the free sec here, usually allows you to take 2 units away. This guy is very tanky, but because Ruri's extra turn mechanic, Lila, you can have her at 0 speed and she gets an 80% massive boost push. So plus the Timmy, she'll go 100% next. So then you get to blow up the other threat. And because it's from a lot of crits, the bonus damage is going to be insane, right? And the rest you can just auto now. So that's the return of Cleaves. And again, instead of Ruri, you can use Milvis. Milvis is also viable. Personally, I like Ruri better because the 2-turn prevents any cuts. You can also use other cleavers to give that Lila push. So here it's basically just turn cycling until Lila gets a S3 that actually crits. Okay, so fairly simple. Alright, next let's take a look at her PvE usages. So in terms of her PvE, I think the most commonly asked question is she able to replace Ginga? In my honest opinion, it's yes. But there's caveats to that. So basically any content Ginga can do, Lila can do it without the support. Ginga is very, very, very good still, but she does need enablers, right? You either have the Chihaya, you have the Goyo, or you have the Shinonome. Those are enablers to Ginga, but now that a lot of people can pick up Lila, either if they rerolled or they saved, you can grab someone else from the selective if you haven't chosen Ginga yet. And Lila is going to excel in the hunts in terms of the Centaur and the Octo. She's just very, very good. And then in terms of other PvP content, so the mutation, waypoint, if you haven't cleared that already, for the stages that are not green, and later on also raid, Lila is much, much better. With Lila, Ginga is almost pushed to a team 3, in my opinion, because we need Lobelia to make Ginga really, really do some intense work in raid. So right now, if you have Ginga, it's not a waste, but Lila can pretty much replace Ginga in that regard. So it's still good to have Ginga for sure. I will be running my Ginga in raid for sure, but Lila is just better in that aspect. So the teams you want to do, you for sure want to tag along Chihaya with Lila, because Chihaya gets an extra turn when she crits with S3. So she goes twice when she uses the S3, and that is 2 crits, giving Lila 20% boost in terms of action bar. So the synergy is very strong there. So you want these two together, and then the rest you can either be defensive with the dual core Morris Alice, or if you want to carry other things depending on the uses, that's fine as well. But the main question for the PvE was, does she replace Ginga in the current content? And my answer is yes. Of course, you can still use Ginga like I've said already, but in my opinion, Lila is fantastic in that regard as well. So that is the quick breakdown for PvE and PvP. PvE is more kind of the answering the question, because we know the PvE content right now is pretty much easily cleared and just slot Lila in over Ginga. And then for the PvP, you can use the team I talk about. I showcased the Stallbreaker team and the Cleaving team. So that is Lila's showcase in a nutshell. And then the part about the giveaway. So, as you know, I've said ideally you want your unique equipment or exclusive armament, that's what they call it, EA, to level 20 for that 30% extra more damage. And if you only did, you need to do 40 pulls basically, and then get the $5 pack, Lila pack. However, because you guys are awesome and I want to give back to the community, I will be hosting this giveaway. So how to enter is you go into, well, it's this YouTube comment. I did this YouTube video, and enter a comment with the hashtag Lila20. So you can type whatever you want, right? So you can type away, thanks Tim for the giveaway. I love NordVPN. And then just make sure you have the hashtag, all small lower cases, hashtag Lila20. And this allows me to then enter this keyword and then do the giveaway. I'll do it this weekend, so people can get it before kind of this event expires. So I'll do it this weekend, maybe this Sunday. I'll have a video about it. So it's hashtag Lila20, and then I'll be choosing 20 lucky winners. Okay, you must have PayPal, because I'm going to PayPal the money to you and I'll cover the fees, but you must have PayPal. All right. And someone's asking me about collaboration, so yeah, I answered that. Cool, that's fine. You must have PayPal to enter, because I'm going to PayPal in the money, and hopefully you're not someone who already got Lila Unique Equipment 20, because I want to give it to the people that need it the most. So honor system, guys, honor system. So anyhow, thank you again for supporting the channel. This is a very long video, but yeah, it's funny because it's 20-minute video, 20,000 subs, 20 unique equipment, 20 unique equipment giveaway for unique equipment level 20. Funny stuff. All right, guys, I'll see you guys in the next video.